I actually became a great injustice. Chapter 1 The morning of being woken up. Lin Jian just scolded a period article in the book review area last night. The author, your ancestors are not protected for 18 generations, the second male lead deserves to be abused, and the male protagonist has no brains at all. As a result, the next morning, fate used a drunk driver to give him a return gun, Gah. With a sound, he was lying on the street, a dazzling white light flashing in front of his eyes. When he opened his eyes again, he was horrified to find himself lying on an age-style wooden bed, wearing a thick cotton jacket, but the sentences he had cursed the previous day still echoed in his mind. Wait. Aren't I in modern times? Lin Jian exclaimed. He looked down and saw the book in his hand. The cover was prominently written with the name of the book he scolded last night. He instantly understood, he wore it himself. And not only did he wear it, but he also wore it, the second male character in the book who he scolded as the biggest injustice. Oh my god! I have become a big injustice. I am dragged down by the male and female protagonists every day. Lin Jian's heart was beating wildly, and various scenes of the second male lead being implicated in the book flashed in his mind, and he almost vomited blood. Chapter 2 The first experience of injustice. Lin Jian tentatively stretched out his hand out, and the eyes of the neighbors fell on him. The vendor shouted, the third child of the Zhao family, have you had breakfast? Lin Jian was stunned, he remembered that the name in the book was his own. Moreover, he is also the big licking dog next to the heroine, and he is the first to be implicated in everything. As expected, there was another shout from the heroine's house on the street, Jianer. Come and help me move things. Lin Jian smiled bitterly in his heart, shook his hand, picked up the basket and ran to the heroine's house. He thought as he ran, I once scolded this character for being unjust, and now it's my turn to get up. Where is the principle of heaven? Chapter 3 Fall in Love First. Lin Jian decided that since he had crossed over, he would reverse his fate. The first step is to save the cannon fodder girl who feels the most distressed, the red birthmark girl in room 8 of Tongzin Lane. Mom, you go and ask the matchmaker to propose to the red birthmark girl in room 8. Lin Jian begged his mother with a serious face. The mother was stunned. Jianer, what are you? What are you in a hurry for? Lin Jian patted his chest and promised, I have to do this. She is the most pitiful and lovely girl I have ever seen, I want to marry her. Although the mother was skeptical, she had no choice but to agree when she saw that her son was determined. Chapter 4 The Neighbors of Shuijing Alley. The news spread like wild, the neighbors of Shuijing Lane began to discuss it hotly. Look at the third child of the Zhao family, he really did it this time. Isn't this an ordinary friend? How do you say that you are engaged? Lin Jian stood at the door of room 8 in Tongzin Lane early, and when he saw the red birthmark girl sticking her head out, he felt excited. Wife. From today onwards, you are mine. The girl looked at him suspiciously and smiled slightly. Are you? Zhao Qian. Lin Jian nodded, feeling secretly happy. The cannon fodder girl I want to marry in my dreams is right in front of me today. Who dares to stop me? Chapter 5 The Astonishment of the Heroine and the Male and Female Protagonists. The news reached the ears of the heroine and the male and female protagonists, and they exploded instantly. The heroine exclaimed, What? The wronged person who usually can't get away from me, actually. Are you engaged to the red birthmark girl in room 8? The male protagonist frowned. Is this feasible? The male and female protagonists' families were also dumbfounded, because the fate of the second male lead in the original article had always been dragged down and implicated. No one expected that he would take the initiative to take the cannon fodder girl into his pocket. Lin Jian snickered on the side, secretly recording everyone's expressions in his heart. This picture is so cool to the bone. Chapter 6 Slap the reader in the face. Lin Jian sat in the yard, took out the manuscript, and began to recall the scenes where he had scored negatively, criticized the author, and criticized the readers. He grinned. Ha ha ha, now I am the big injustice who was implicated. I personally took the cannon fodder girl home and slapped everyone in the face. He thought of his past evaluations, and his eyes lit up. Starting today, I want to rewrite my destiny. Who dares to say that I am wronged? Lao Tzu now dominates his own plot. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 7 The Heart of the Red Birthmark Girl. The Red Birthmark Girl has actually noticed Lin Qian for a long time, but she has always been covered by the heroine's light. Now that Lin Qian took the initiative to propose marriage, she was both surprised and happy. Qianer, you want to marry me? Her cheeks were slightly red. Lin Qian nodded, his eyes shining. I have long thought that when I cross over, I will protect you for the rest of my life. The girl smiled, her eyes shining. Then I will. I promise you. The neighbors in Shuijing Lane looked at it from a distance and were all stunned. The third child of the Zhao family changed from licking the dog to taking the initiative, and successfully robbed the cannon fodder girl. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 8 The situation is reversed. The heroine and heroine appeared again and wanted to stop the engagement, but Lin Qian was already confident. He used wisdom and humor to resolve all obstacles and successfully completed the engagement ceremony. On the day of the engagement, the whole alley was watching. Lin Qian held the hand of the red birthmark girl and smiled brightly. Wife, we are a family from today onwards. The girl leaned shyly on his shoulder, and the red birthmark on her face seemed to be reflected in the sunset even more cute. Neighbors? Heroine and male protagonist? Lin Qian felt secretly happy. This time, the wronged counterattack was successful. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 9 Happy Daily Life and Plot Reversal. Lin Qian and the red birthmark girl's married life is full of fun and jokes. He has to deal with the gossip of the neighbors in the alley, and he also has to prevent the heroine and the male protagonist from unreasonable challenges. Every small incident, he used humor and wisdom to resolve it, and by the way, he hit the original plot setting on Facebook. Lin Qian smiled secretly in his heart. The original author, the injustice you designed has now become the happiest life by me. Who dares to scold me? He hugged his wife every day, recalling the scenes of reading books and readers in the past, and his heart was full of refreshment. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 10 True Victory. Lin Qian sat in the yard, holding the hand of the red birthmark girl, and sighed in his heart. Crossing is not a disaster, but an opportunity. I not only saved the cannon fodder, but also rewrote my own destiny. He looked at Shuijing Alley in the distance, full of smiles. From today onwards, I am no longer a big injustice, but my own master. Chapter 11 Premarital Farce. After Lin Qian and the red birthmark girl got engaged, the neighbors in Shuijing Lane were talking every day. Look at the third child of the Zhao family, he is laughing after that girl again today. Lin Qian felt secretly happy, but found that the heroine and the male and female protagonists were still unwilling. They secretly planned to make small moves at the engagement banquet, such as replacing Lin Qian's wedding invitation with a fake one, and even planned to let the heroine pretend to be a matchmaker to intervene. Lin Qian naturally couldn't sit still. He had already inquired about the news and prepared his own countermeasures. On the day of the banquet, he dressed up the red birthmark girl as the heroine's sister in the book, and performed the drama of changing wedding invitations by mistake with the children in the alley. When the heroine and the male and female protagonists saw this scene, they looked confused. This injustice. Why is it getting harder and harder to deal with? Lin Qian smiled badly, holding the red birthmark girl, thinking, this is the winning group in life, who can stop me? Underscore 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 un. Chapter 12 Daily Life After Marriage. After marriage, Lin Qian's life became even more exciting. He had to carry the red birthmark girl to buy groceries every morning, and occasionally had to perform a small battle for favor in the alley, which made the neighbors laugh. Although the red birthmark girl has a red birthmark on her face, she has a hearty personality and often quarrels with Lin Qian. Qianer, you secretly ate my candy again yesterday. She said angrily. Lin Qian pretended to be innocent. I'm just doing a family survey to see which candy is the sweetest. The children in the alley all laughed. This newlywed couple is really harmonious. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 13 The Heroine's Raid. Seeing that Lin Qian was happy after marriage, the heroine felt a little unwilling and decided to challenge his status in person. She arranged an invincible competition, claiming to see who is the strongest character in the alley. On the day of the competition, Lin Qian and the red birthmark girl teamed up to fight against the heroine's challenge, although the process was full of funny mistakes, but in the end they won with a tacit understanding and used humor to make the heroine lose face. The heroine's face turned blue, and she said secretly, "This is a big injustice. I underestimated him." Lin Qian looked at the heroine and smiled smirkly, "In this battle, I not only protected my wife, but also slapped the original book setting. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 14 Relatives and Troubles. Soon after marriage, Lin Qian also had to face trouble caused by relatives. Some people questioned the origin of the red birthmark girl, and some people wanted to provoke trouble. Lin Qian uses humor and wisdom to resolve crises every time, and even improves his wife's status by the way. People in the alley began to rumor, the girl married by the third child of the Zhao family is not simple. The red birthmark girl looked at Lin Qian and smiled so much that her eyes were curved. "Qianer, you are really my hero." Lin Qian felt secretly happy, this is the pinnacle of life, who dares to say that I am wronged. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 15 Sudden Disaster. Just as Lin Qian and his wife were living a sweet life, news came from afar. A certain conspiracy of the male and female protagonists in the book was going to implicate the entire alley and may even affect their marriage. Lin Qian sneered, "You want to make trouble? Then come on." He took the red birthmark girl and several friends in the alley to cleverly resolve the conspiracy, and even used the schemes of the heroine and the male protagonist to backhand them into a predicament. This time, he completely proved that the wronged can also counterattack, and cannon fodder can also turn over. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 16 Eternal Happiness. After a series of twists and turns, Lin Qian and the red birthmark girl finally lived a peaceful life. The neighbors of Shuijing Lane also began to admire the couple, watching them bicker, funny, and laughing every day. Lin Qian hugged his wife and secretly sighed in his heart, whether it's time travel or being woken up, the most important thing is that I have rewritten my destiny. If the counterattack of the wronged species is successful, cannon fodder can also become the happiest person. Chapter 17 The Big Battle in the Alley. Shortly after Lin Qian and the red birthmark girl got married, a big battle suddenly broke out in Shuijing Lane. The neighbors in the alley broke out a controversy over whose dish is the best due to a small misunderstanding, and even involved the old forces of the heroine and the male and female protagonists. Lin Qian looked at the chaotic scene and clenched his fists helplessly. The wronged species must also be managed. He quickly gathered his friends and wives in the alley, made a plan, and used humor and clever tricks to resolve various skirmishes, and even made the heroine and male protagonist laugh and cry. The neighbors exclaimed, "The third child of the Zhao family." This time he not only married a cannon fodder girl, but also maintained the order of the whole alley in an orderly manner. Lin Qian felt secretly happy, this is called the real-life victory group. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 18 The Mysterious Events of the World in the Book. One day, strange lights and shadows appeared in the alley, like visions projected from the world of the book. The red birthmark girl pulled Lin Qian to hide in the house, with surprise in her eyes. "Qianer, what do you think? Is this related to the plot in the book?" Lin Qian smiled. "This is just right, since I have become a big injustice, I have to take the opportunity to do something earth-shaking." He used this vision to cleverly expose the conspiracy of the heroine and the male and female protagonists, completely rewriting the tragedy of the second male lead originally arranged in the book. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 19 A Wonderful Gathering in the Alley. Lin Qian decided to hold a wonderful party in the alley and invited all the neighbors, the cannon fodder characters in the book, and the relatives and friends of the red birthmark girl to participate. At the party, Lin Qian arranged funny interactions, dancing, competitions, interesting quizzes, and even let the female and male protagonists perform as clowns, which made the entire alley funny. The red birthmark girl leaned on Lin Qian's shoulder and laughed softly, "Qianer, I am really happy to marry you." Lin Qian felt secretly happy, this is the pinnacle of the counterattack of the wronged species. Chapter 20 The final challenge between the female protagonist and the male protagonist. The female protagonist and the male protagonist finally exerted all their strength, wanting to challenge Lin Qian's position in the alley for the last time. He looked at the success of the two of them's conspiracy, but he was calm. Lin Qian used wisdom and humor to resolve the conspiracy, putting the two in the dilemma of setting their own traps. The female protagonist and the male protagonist couldn't laugh or cry, and secretly thought, why is this big injustice getting more and more difficult to deal with? Lin Qian was proud in his heart, and led the red birthmark girl through the alley. From today onwards, who dares to underestimate me? Chapter 21 Eternal Happiness. After a series of farces and challenges, Lin Qian and the red birthmark girl finally lived a peaceful and happy life. People in the alley admire the couple, watching them bicker, funny, and laughing every day. Lin Qian hugged his wife every day and sighed in his heart, time travel is not a disaster, but an opportunity to counterattack. The wronged can also turn over, and cannon fodder can also become a winning group in life. The red birthmark girl smiled and leaned on his shoulder. Qianer, our days are the best plot. Lin Qian smiled, this is what it means to truly dominate life. Postscript. Time travel was originally a disaster, but it can become an opportunity to rewrite your destiny. Lin Qian counterattacked from the great injustice in the book, not only saving the cannon fodder girl, but also slapping all the complaints in the original book setting in the book review area. The story tells us that humor, wisdom, and courage can change the course of life. Whether you are wronged or dragged down, as long as you dare to act, everyone can become the master of their own life. The victory of life does not depend on how others evaluate it, but on how you control your own destiny.